This is what we do. This is what we do. Albany, welcome to the Liberty Late Night. This is what we do. We always forget to hit the freaking microphone button. Damn it.
I understand completely.
Ladies and gentlemen, Albany Saindon.
Yes. Let's start all that over again. Dang it.
It wouldn't be a true podcast without that. So
right.
No, that's our thing.
It's always
People are
a
gonna
thing.
start thinking I do it on purpose.
Yeah, but we seriously don't.
Just got into talking with you.
I know, right? Okay, so I'm gonna re-say my question, and then you can go ahead and start your answer. Oh man. Okay, so can you tell us your story? You are involved in helping women and families, and we are interested in hearing your background and why this and how this became a passion for you.
absolutely. So, like I said, the TLDR version is I became pregnant at 16. I told my dad I wanted to keep the baby, and he said no. I told him that I'd like to put the baby up for adoption then. He said no. I was threatened with homelessness, and that abortion was the only option. And social media, I was 16 then, I'm 27 now. And even though social media was still very prominent, I was not aware of how to search for different resources. I didn't even know there were resources out there. I was only ever told from everyone I knew, from parents, that Planned Parenthood was the only place for people like me. And so I went to Planned Parenthood, and I went to one by our house that they didn't perform abortions. They just performed the sonograms or the ultrasounds, determine how far along you were, and then where they would direct you from there. The woman determined I was 8 to 9 weeks. I asked her if I could see the monitor. She told me no. She told me I wouldn't be able to see anything anyways. And I was 16, I was scared. I did not have the balls that I have now to demand what I know is rightfully mine to see.
Right.
And so I just went along with it. I was terrified. And so I went to have the abortion at a different Planned Parenthood. And afterwards, I just felt very broken. And for 3 years after that, I became a very hardcore pro-choice activist. I bragged about my abortion even, and every day I just became this person that just built more walls around myself to protect myself. And after a while, I really convinced myself that it's something I wanted, that it was the best thing for me, because that's what I saw everywhere online. And when I was newly 19, I met my now husband, who we are total opposites. So obviously the universe knew we were meant to be together. And, he was this traditional Roman Catholic, and I hated religious people, and he was pro-life, no exceptions. I was really pro-choice. It was a great match.
Definitely.
And so I became pregnant 7 months later, and I was still very pro-choice. I told my dad, and he said, another abortion. I said no, so he ended up kicking me out. But I was still pro-choice, even though, I knew I was going to keep this baby. It was still my choice. And I went in for the 8-week ultrasound, like you do. And I remember thinking it was so weird for me because I was told years ago that there was nothing to see. It was no big deal. I've been told for years that. And so when I saw our now 7-year-old and her 160 beat per minute heartbeat and her little body and the little nubs for arms and legs, my whole world it was over. Came crashing down. And I actually tried harder to stay pro-choice, but throughout my pregnancy, I couldn't personally do it anymore. And so I've been, my very first ever pro-life thing was I bought this little $10, $15 camera at Best Buy, and I just recorded my testimony. And I'd never told anyone besides my husband, and I put it on YouTube. Just kind of a way to share, get it off my chest, and I never expected it to go anywhere, and it did. It blew up. Live Action, Priest for Life, Stand True, all these places shared it. And I started to be somebody, and it was totally new territory. And it was difficult because I never healed privately. I healed very publicly. And that was a very strange thing, because at first, whenever someone makes a drastic change, I notice people tend to be very hateful. not that they want to be hateful, it's just change is hard, especially
Right.
such a dramatic change. You know, God, even when I became an atheist, you know, I was a very hateful atheist. And after a couple months, I was like, well, I kind of sound like a dick. Like, why am I doing this? What's actually the reason behind this? But I have found my place focusing on the underlying issues. I know a lot of people, their goal is to overturn Roe v. Wade, and that's the only thing to do. But I'm kind of a pessimistic realist. I don't think abortion will be overturned. And if it is, I don't think it'll be in our lifetime. And to me, it's not the biggest problem. To me, it's helping the women and why they choose it. You know, when we find out 61% of women who have abortions already have a child, you know, they're feeling like they can't take care of the baby the one they already have. So it's like, no, to me, that's my focus. That's where I have found my spot in this debate. I just want to help people, regardless of if they're pro-life or pro-choice. Obviously, I want to help people keep their children. Yeah, I also want to help.
Where is that? Did I hear a train?
Oh, there we go. Now I can hear you. Yep, you said train, and now it's good.
Yay! Okay, see, Dave came back.
We live right next to a train track.
Okay, all right. Because see, Dave came back, and it's like the computer knows when he's gone. I'm not kidding you. I am not even kidding. Every single time he leaves the room, this happens to me. Okay, so you say that you now want to now. Can you say those statistics again? That how many women are having abortions even though they already have children? Because they feel that they can't take care of that baby?
The last percentage I found, which was actually, I always use my statistics from Guttmacher, which is Planned Parenthood's research facility.
Okay.
I use them in CDC so that when people come at me and tell me my statistics are wrong, they don't get to do that.
Right.
But yeah,
yes, that's a good plan.
61%, and then the lowest I saw was 59%.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a good amount.
Okay, so your passion now is to go out, your mission is to go out and help these women. In what kind of way? I mean, and how do you find them? Do they find you?
It's generally word of mouth. I'm so sorry for this train.
Oh, I'm not even worried about it. No,
it's had enough.
No, we can hear you. I'm not even worried.
So my husband and I have gotten a lot of help. You know, we were very young when we had our first, and then, you know, we have 4 kids, 7 and under. And
ooh, that's a lot. Yeah, we have 3, so we're
You're right in the thick of it.
And you know, we've been there. We've been in those situations where someone buying you a package of diapers can make your whole week because you need to get through those next 2 days. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And I feel like every parent knows that struggle, no matter how well off you are.
Yep.
You know, we've had it where our water got shut off. We were going to lose our house last year because the mortgage company we had at the time was like, you know, we're not going to tell you that you're behind, and we're going to keep adding all this interest and fees on top. And
oh man.
And so we've been there, and I've been throwing free baby showers for women online for years through my pro-life page, and I wanted to do more. So I actually started my nonprofit last year, Lead with Love, and it was the best thing ever. We got to help so many people because I didn't want to just be about helping women and babies. To me, it was so much more than that. You know, there's families out there that their kids might be 13, 14 years old. That doesn't mean they don't still need help. That doesn't mean we don't stop caring.
Right.
And to me, that's been my focus. I've watched more women choose life from knowing that they had a resource, even if that resource was just online, than anything else.
Wow.
And to me, it's about changing that one person's life, you know?
That is amazing. Because I feel like I've sort of come from where it was like, okay, like you said, Roe v. Wade, and we got to stop people from having abortions. And then I'm in this group, and I'm like, you know, learning, and people are talking about it's more than just, you know, oh, we got to stop that law. It's about the person. And beyond that, you know, the mom, the baby, but also past that point too. You know, we can't stop caring just because, oh, we got that baby to be born. You know, we gotta care about the life as a whole. You know, and that just, it sounds like exactly what you're doing. I love that.
Well, The top reasons that women choose abortions, they're generally related to the her career or school. And to me, especially being libertarian, it's not about the government intervention. The government sucks when it comes to that. They don't take care of anyone.
Nope.
They can't do anything. So to me, it's about incentivizing companies and big organizations and schools to help these moms. It doesn't matter if they're teens or if they're, women in their 40s.
Yeah.
Incentivize them to have affordable daycare, or, however they want to work that out, or help them have better maternity leave, not with everyone else forcing them to pay for it, but come together as a community, because I really believe people are stronger together instead of relying on the government force.
Right.
Definitely.
And that's what this group believes.
Yeah, that's our whole group. Yeah.
For sure. It is all about the government can't take care of all the people, and they don't. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, they're doing a very poor job. But, okay. So when you talk about these baby showers that you do for people, how does that work? How does that, I mean, how do you post about it and then share it, and then people say like, oh, I'd love to purchase, something for somebody who's in need?
It's really straightforward. It's great. One thing I love about social media and easy access for the internet is Amazon is a lifesaver. Especially Amazon, because everyone has that. But I generally will talk to the mom. Someone will contact me if they need help, or if they know someone that needs help, whether it's a woman seeking an abortion or she already knows she's going to keep the baby, but she doesn't know where to turn. I get in contact with them. I help them set up either an Amazon registry or, Walmart or Target or whatever they want. And I have them set it up with all their needs, and then I just share it.
That's wonderful.
And I mean, within the first 24 hours, people almost always get 100% of everything they've asked for. And then a lot of the time, I have a lot of women on my pages who, they already have kids. So instead of buying something, they'll be like, would she be comfortable with me getting the P.O. box or the address? And I'll just send her a box of, gently used stuff.
Yes.
That's the best thing about being moms with kids.
Yeah,
because
tons of clothes.
I've donated 50 bags of clothes, and I still have some to give.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, we got shelves of them right there.
Yeah, and that we've gotten donated to us. That my cousin was cleaning for a woman.
Oh,
and, and she's like, "Oh, my daughter,
Some nice stuff."
And I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, yeah." 'Cause we have 2 boys and then a girl, and so my middle child, he's wearing all the hand-me-downs from the older one, but then the daughter, I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, all the girl clothes." And so, but it's so awesome. I love that. I do. I love that. I think there is something in LM too that is like a clothing exchange kind of thing. Yeah, very, very cool. So let me ask you this. How did your dad feel when you came out about this, and how you actually felt about it? Or maybe you guys, you don't have to talk about it, but
took it.
Yeah. What are his
super
thoughts?
open with anything.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay. Did your relationship with him kind of like after the whole, like he gave you an ultimatum, or kind of just said like, here's what's going to happen, you're 16 and you're still my child and now you're going to go do this? What did your relationship turn into?
So after the abortion, I really just fed into everything. So my dad is very new age spiritual. I actually have another video on YouTube that blew up, and it's why the new age movement is dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah. But to me, his version is very dangerous. My dad is a person that doesn't believe right and wrong exists, that everyone's personal truth is the only truth. And when I finally confronted him, years later, because I did buy into that, it made me feel better. And I'd say a really like small side note is that's probably the biggest issue I have with the pro-life movement is people don't take into human psychology, even the most basic understanding of it. And it's that we have a self-preservation mode. We don't just have flight or fight, we have a freeze mode. And if there's something being told to us that's going to make us feel better, we're going to, especially when you're young, before that prefrontal cortex and the part of your brain that's telling you what reason and logic is, you're going to believe that. And so I really fell into that, which to me is what helped me get through the next couple of years. And by get through, I mean live. Like I did so many drugs. The amount of partners that I have slept with after my abortion because of just depression and trying to feel love is astronomical. And I'm very grateful to never contact something dangerous or an STD, but it was bad. And so when I started to become pro-life, that's when our relationship actually hit a dive. because even though I was pro-choice at first, when I got pregnant again, I still stood my ground. You know, I knew I loved my husband. I knew I couldn't do that to him. And our relationship really fell apart. And my dad actually told me before I started my public page, but I just kind of spoke out on my own personal Facebook. My dad made a comment about how he doesn't regret, you know, pushing me into that, and how like he knows he made the right decision for me. And now he actually doesn't believe that. We've had long conversations, and he says he doesn't agree with the fact that he made me choose something that was my choice. It's funny though, because my dad is still very pro-choice, but he's also a vegan activist, and so we always go back and forth on that.
I bet.
But we're at least in a place that we talk, which is really
That's
good. Like he actually always asks how my pro-life stuff is doing. He's always curious if I'm going to go to events or when my next speaking engagement is. So I figure if nothing else, baby steps.
Yeah.
At least
Yes.
you're still talking and everything.
Right. The lines of communication are still open. Yeah. That's wonderful.
Well, I mean, we actually got into a fight probably about a year ago, maybe 8-9 months ago. We were on the phone, and we homeschool. And my dad is like super anti-homeschooling.
Oh, really?
Which is weird. Yeah. And
we homeschool too.
He started. It was crazy though. When I told him when we started homeschooling, he was really supportive, and then out of nowhere, he wasn't okay with it, and he started almost talking down to us. And I snapped at him because the way he was trying to control our kids. And I told him, I said, these are not your kids. You don't get a choice in their life. And he said that he did because he was their grandpa. And I snapped at him and I said, do you remember the fact that you wanted every one of them aborted? Every time I got pregnant, he literally said I needed to have an abortion.
Wow.
We were either too financially unstable, or
Oh,
we had too many
geez.
kids. One time I was too fat to have another kid.
What?
Like, yeah,
Wow.
it was ridiculous.
That ain't even pro-life or
I'm just-
pro-choice. That's
not
just
even.
pro-death.
Yeah, that's just it, right. I'm having a Dr. Phil GIF moment here. Like, whoa. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so how do we help people? Are those kinds of folks like with that kind of attitude? Are they too far gone, or are we just do you just decide to like we're going to fixate on the families and not worry about the people out there who are just like go ahead and have an abortion, whatever? Because
I think it's always an individual case by case.
Okay.
I mean, I was one of those people that people thought was too far gone. I was someone that I was a shout your abortion chick. I bragged about it. I was vitriolic in every sense. I was hateful. I used to stalk Abby Johnson's page all the time. And like I was that person. And so I don't think anyone's too far gone. And I always tell people that be the person that they want to turn to if they ever decide they need help. Because the problem was when I started questioning, I could only remember all the bad people.
Everybody
All the
yelling
people
at
that
you.
told me I was a whore. Exactly. All the people that told me I was a murderer. And Abby was actually the only person outside of my husband and two of his friends that I turned to, because even as bad as I was to her, she was never hateful towards me. And so I actually turned to her. I sent her an email and I was like, hey, you probably remember me. But so this has happened. I'm pregnant again. I saw the baby. My mind is blown. I need help. But she was the only one I could think of. And so, you know, I absolutely want to help the people that want help, because I very much believe you can't help someone unless they want to start to help themselves. You can't get through unless there's
no, you can't.
Crack.
That's right.
Exactly. But if they ever start to feel that, make sure that you're someone that they can think of when they get to that place.
Mm-hmm.
How beautiful.
But that's something you have
is
to think
that?
of ahead of time, like to be the person. Oh, Larry Sharp's here.
Hi, Larry Sharp. How you doing? Nick Ford is here too. Wow, that's.
And that's why
That was
I
really
kind
something
of got
to
that
think
feeling
about.
from looking at your page and some of your posts and stuff, how you take a non-confrontational kind of view of
Approach
it.
and view,
Approach, yeah.
And and I will say though, like, it's easy for me to say this, but like I'm definitely not perfect. Like, my problem is sarcasm. I will never be cruel or hateful anymore, but I am a sarcastic bitch.
That's this guy right
It's
here.
difficult sometimes for me to pull that back.
Oh yeah.
So that's
That's Dave. He's Mr. Sarcasm, so.
I can't stop.
He can't stop. He seriously cannot. Like, please quit just for a minute. But that just makes him go.
Now
yeah.
you're also a libertarian. How did that come about?
Yeah, how did that happen?
So, I mean, I grew up in a very Christian conservative household. And then when I moved to Colorado to live with my biological dad, like I said, he was very new age spiritual and he was very socialist. And so I really bought into that. Because I had no structure during the ages I needed the most structure. And when I met my husband, he was very conservative. And so when he started showing me statistics and he started showing me all these things, it was really hard for me to start to ignore that. And then we both actually pretty much became libertarian together because we just watched where the Republican Party was going, and we're like, wow, you're just as full of shit. Like, I'm sorry if I shouldn't curse in this channel. I realize
no,
you're fine.
No, you're good.
No,
it gets
crazy.
really bad.
But equally, yeah, we both were like, it's so hypocritical for us to just sit here and bash on Democrats, and we'll bash on Republicans, but we keep saying we're Republican. It's like, no, you both have issues. We're tired of all of it. And like, I even have issues to an extent with some of the libertarian stuff, but it's still the closest thing we have. And
that's how we are too, you know. It's like
I just tell people that like Penn Jillette is my spirit animal, and if you want like my views on stuff, just go to Penn.
Yes. I remember when we found out he was libertarian. We were like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. We were so excited.
Finally.
Yes. That's wonderful.
And I like hearing about conservatives that actually have principle rather than just following party. Like a lot of it's like a red versus blue, my team versus your team, whatever team captain's doing. That's what our principles are, which means you have none.
Right. Yeah. You have to have a consistent
We had a discussion about that. It's like, oh, he's just saying that the party doesn't represent him. He has conservative principles. That's kind of neat.
Yeah. Yep.
I can kind of respect that.
Were you around for the Ron Paul then? The whole thing with Ron Paul at all? Did you follow him?
A lot of it, yeah.
Yeah.
It was more bits and pieces being put together, but
yeah. In 2008, I think we heard about him, but we didn't really look into him too much. But then it was 2012. We really, it took off, and it was made a lot of friends from it.
That was I put so much of it together after, because I graduated high school in 2009. So I was still a youngin', and I was the youngest in my class. So one of the earliest things that I remember is actually like Obama and his election and all the stuff going on there.
Hope and change.
Yeah. Oh, the hope and the change and the.
Well, and of course, like I said, I lived with my dad, so I still had that mindset. Like, I remember being with my husband, and I was like a total Obama lover, not because I knew anything about him, but because I just bought into like, oh, he's such a good speaker. Oh,
right.
He's like such a good dad, but
very
I never cared about the
charismatic.
politics.
Yes.
And then my husband pissed me off because he was like, no, I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to give me an actual factual answer. And that just pissed me off.
Damn,
we're running on feelings now.
Yes. Tell me, how did you and your husband meet?
We met at a bar, like you do in America.
Yeah.
There's a bar in Denver called the Albany Rose, and I'd been going there for years. And I hadn't gone for quite a few months because the boyfriend I had before him broke up with me. That's where we met, so I never went anymore. And out of nowhere, I was like, I need to get out of the house. I've been cooped up. I'm going to go. And my swing dance partner was actually my husband's best friend. So he brought my husband. I asked if I could bum a cigarette. He pointed to his friend. We immediately went to the smoke room, and we spent like 2 hours debating back and forth because we had nothing in common. It was great.
And the rest is history.
I actually hear him coming up the stairs right now. When we met, I guess his friend, our mutual friend, actually set him up with another girl that night. And so he invited me out to breakfast with them because the bar was open till 2 or 3 in the morning. So it's midnight and we go out to Village Inn, and it was our mutual friend, his girlfriend's friend, and then me and him. and my husband and I spent the whole night cuddling. And it wasn't until after the fact that we found out that other girl was supposed to be set up with him. So that poor girl was sitting there all night wondering why the hell this guy is cuddling with.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Well,
we always say it wouldn't have worked out anyways, though, because she was a total health nut. She was anti-smoking, and she was
one
of those people that gets up at 4:30 in the morning and runs. So we just know that wouldn't have worked anyway.
Ew.
Ew. Yeah, it's like I want to be one of those people, but I'm like, no. Just because I'm like, I want to get up.
It's so much nicer than actually doing
exactly. The idea of it, I like that. The idea of it is way better. So you have 4 kids now, 7 and under. What are their ages?
2, and then soon to be 5, 6, 7.
Oh my goodness! Wow, 2, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so you're right in the middle of a lot of crazy,
a lot of shit,
a lot of shit,
literally.
What's nice about them, and like, it's definitely crazy, but what I love about having kids so close together is that by the time we're 40,
yeah,
the smallest will be 18, and that's such a good feeling. And they go through the same motions together. The youngest one, the 2-year-old, kind of goes through her own separate one, but the eldest 3, they go through their own waves together, so we can nip that shit in the butt right away.
That's great. That's so great. See, I'm having the opposite situation. My oldest is 10, and then I have a 4.5 and a 6-year-old.
And I am 40.
And Dave is 40. Right, and I'm pushing it. 39 right now, but but the little ones, it's like they do go through the same things together, which is really nice. You know, they have each other as buddies and friends and stuff like that. But
they also
when they
kill each other.
also wanna, when they're on the other side of it, you know, and it's all they're going through the whining phase.
To be 5-year-old, she's the one that we have to be like, no, like, you got to stick up for yourself, because the eldest 2, they've looked like twins their entire lives.
Yes.
They're the same height, pretty much. You know, I got pregnant with the boy 6 months after I had the girl.
Oh my gosh!
And so they're like this. And they pick on the 5-year-old a lot, and I'm like, I can't fight your battles. You gotta tough it up, and you tell them to knock that shit off. And if they hit you, you hit them back, and you do it.
Yeah, no, good for you. I was an only child, so I have no idea. They'll come to me
like, "Oh, he hit me." I'm like, "That's what you guys do. What are you telling me for?"
Right. That's what every day.
Either do it or stop. Don't tell me about it.
Yeah. So, what kind of stuff do you guys do out and about as a family? Do your kids? Do they attend pro-life things with you?
No, I don't believe in bringing them to stuff like that until they understand why they are there.
Okay.
Like, I understand why other parents do, and I definitely have nothing against them. To me, it is really a personal choice of where you're going to stand, and I don't want them to be pro-life just because I told them to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want them to choose that.
Trying to raise thinkers.
And to really understand what is behind being pro-life. Yeah.
Well, I posted about this on my Facebook, and it got swarmed with pro-choice trolls, so I ended up taking it down. I'll leave a lot of stuff up, but when someone goes after my kid, I'm like, nope, we're not going to tolerate this.
That's not okay. Yeah. Kids are off limits.
Exactly. And you'd think that'd be universal, but no, our 6-year-old, our boy, Royce, he was standing behind me, and I didn't realize he was standing behind me, and I was scrolling through my Instagram, and there was an image, I think it was something Twitter, Instagram, and I scrolled past a photo of a dismembered 12-week fetus, and it wasn't as gruesome as, late term, but it was still bloody. And for me, I've become very desensitized, not because it doesn't affect me, but because you have to. If you're going to be in this like I am, you can't always, weep, and it sucks, but it's the facts of it. And so I'm just scrolling, and he stopped my phone. He reached over and stopped it, and he was like, "What is that?" And I'm very much of the principle, I don't ever want to lie to my kids. It doesn't mean I have to tell them absolutely everything, but
right.
But he pointed out a hand, and I didn't actually even see the hand in it.
Wow.
But he just asked what the hand was, and so I told him, I said, that's an abortion. And he asked what an abortion was, and I said, well, that's when a doctor takes the baby out and kills the baby and the mom. And we actually talk about embryos and fetuses. I really prefer people to use those terms. I think it's very important that we do. But just so he would understand. And he was really quiet, and then he just got really quiet and said, I don't want someone to kill me. And it broke my heart, because I told him, I said, there's really no way to explain that and be like, no, that's never going to happen to you.
Right.
But, he's 6. He doesn't understand limitations. He doesn't fully understand it. And thankfully, he's completely forgotten about it, which I would rather him forget about it.
Sure. Yep. But that's great, though, that you had that conversation with him. And at 6, they are in the moment, and then later can just kind of be like, boop, I'm onto something else,
Exactly.
So that's probably a good time to...
a lot of people in the comments are pumped about your Maiden shirt.
Yes. Favorite song? They want to know your favorite song. Oh, man. Let me get out of the way for that. Oh, boy. Oh, man.
Wow, that is a lot of ink.
Yeah.
Holy, oh my gosh. Everyone's so
the
excited.
entire right side of my body is dedicated to all the album covers of Iron Maiden.
Wow. Wow.
Got a passion.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're kind of my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, what is it that, was that something that in your, you just love them?
Period of your life.
Period of your life,
meant
where it
something, or...
meant something to you, that music was just like, it's moving in a way, or touching somehow.
Or just freaking cool.
Yeah. What is it that...
I just grew up with it. I was born in 91, so I actually got to experience the 90s, and my dad grew up listening to nothing but 70s and 80s metal, and so I grew up with everything from Priest to ZZ Top and Rat and Ozzy, and so that's just what I've known. And I remember the first time I ever saw an Iron Maiden piece, which was The Number of the Beast. I was just so awestruck.
Oh, I actually
thought
know that
Eddie
song.
was the coolest thing I'd ever seen, and I just fell in love. But Iron Maiden has always been my favorite band since I was like 4.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Everybody's very excited.
They want opinions out, Kevin.
Yes.
Opinions on the 7th son of the 7th son, or...
Yes. Is that a thing? I'm not quite familiar.
Yeah, the
but...
7th son of the 7th son.
Okay, so Kevin wants
I love
to know.
it. I actually, right now, I have my favorite songs since I was asked is I don't ever believe in a truly favorite song. If it's your favorite band, I don't think that's possible.
Yes.
But I always tell people it's Passchendaele, Can I Play with Madness, Hallowed Be Thy Name, and Number of the Beast. I can't choose. Oh, my brain went away.
That's
okay.
fine. I like that. My brain went away.
One of our
That's
things,
mine.
we like to interact a lot with the chat. It's kind of like...
Yeah.
Like to be inclusive with the community and stuff like that. So if you
Yeah.
see us
if anyone has questions or anything, no matter what it's about, like I'm totally happy. I love to interact with people.
and if you see me smile or laugh at inappropriate times, it's normally because I'm reading the comments, because I kind of keep up with that more than Mary does, because she tries to engage a little more with the guest.
Let's real quick while people are still typing their questions. Holly really, we do want to do this too, but now you have a Patreon set up. And you have a Facebook page and all this stuff. So go ahead and just talk a little bit about that now, and then we can ask some questions from the audience, and then you can definitely talk about it some more. So Patreon, where else can we find you?
So the Patreon, I have put off the Patreon for years because it's very difficult for me to seek that kind of help. But it's gotten to the point where I've had so many people say that they want to support me, and I don't get paid for this. The most I've ever been paid in my 7 years of speaking is $200 for one engagement, and I've done dozens. And it's really difficult for me. So I started the Patreon, and essentially what it's for is it helps me get to places like the March for Life. It helps me get to different events where I can be vocal, and it's not just for marching, it's where I can actually go and speak. And because I prefer to go to talk to the pro-choice people, I don't go to just stand in line with everyone. I want to go and actually converse with people. To me, that's the point.
Yeah.
But it's not always feasible because I don't get paid for what I do.
Right.
And if it's between saving money for something for my family, that's obviously going to come first. So the Patreon, that's just what that's there for. But I have an Instagram, which is, if you type in Albany Rose anywhere, you're going to find me. It's not a common name. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and then there's also a TikTok, but that's because I'm a lonely stay-at-home mom, and we're just going to pretend. I know.
Yes.
I know.
No,
we're on TikTok.
So much fun. It's so much fun.
So we'll look for you
It
out there.
is, yes.
Usually we just look for comedy stuff.
You won't find me under Albany there, though. I've made sure to not give out my real name on TikTok. I figured that'll be like away from pro-life.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's just your vent.
Yes.
Go there to vent.
Yes. That was my Twitter account, was just like my, nobody knew me there. And I'm like, I'm going to just say how I really feel about everything.
Because nobody's looking at
My
it.
mom's not on Twitter. Okay, so
Well, what's the
have
name
you-
of the Patreon?
The Patreon is just Albany Rose pro-life. Very simple.
Okay.
That's great. That's great. I think everybody is, well, I know Toby. He's a wonderful friend. He really wants to know.
Do you know about the clown memes?
Do you know about
the thing that's going on?
The honk? Do you know what the honk? Where our friend Holly, actually, who's in the
And
comment
wild
section
about
right
you.
now. Yes, Holly Manuel.
I love Holly.
Yeah, isn't she great?
She got so
She-
excited when she heard you're on.
She is, and she got, like, Facebook came after her because she said honk.
As a comment.
As a comment, it got removed, and then they came after her because she shared the screenshot and it blew up and became this thing.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, and so then they came after her account and like I think they're like trying to like permazuck her account. So
Yeah.
poor thing. So if you could say honk, I think everyone would be like super pumped to just hear you say honk.
Honk, honk, motherfucker.
yes, yes.
Holly's gonna, and she's OMG, she loves
yes,
me.
Yes. Oh, that's so great.
I'll post that on my pro-life page. No one will know what it's about. But you will.
Seriously, the censorship. Do you find that at all on Facebook? Do you find that?
Yeah,
you're
do you ever
getting
get hit with
frustrated
anything,
that?
or-
I'm getting like a little.
I'm almost never censored. I've had two. I was censored on Twitter for saying that I was harassing people, and my comment was actually questioning somebody why they would rather kill someone instead of have them be born disabled.
Wow.
And then I had my Facebook shut down for 3 days, my pro-life one, but I never got a reason from Facebook. I
No,
never
they're
got
good at
any
that.
They do
notification.
that.
I never got told.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything that was removed.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, they're
just
good
do
for
that.
that.
I hate that.
That's the whole Liberty memes
Yeah,
lifestyle.
that's what Liberty means, is fighting off the Zuck. You know, it happens where they just take it down and then you have no reason, no understanding.
Yep.
Okay, so what happens when people try to say, you know, maybe a girl comes to you and she says, well, the doctor says that my baby's going to be, you know, disabled, and I really feel like this is what I should do, is have an abortion instead. Like, how do you come to her at that and just, I mean, it's still a life.
I always
It's a-
recommend, first of all, that no matter what it is, that you get more than one opinion, because when
Good
it
idea.
comes to how many times doctors are wrong,
I know.
we're especially seeing an increase of doctors being wrong on Down syndrome,
Yes.
and a lot of people aborting healthy babies. Not that that makes it any better, but always get
Yeah.
other opinions.
Yeah.
And what I always recommend people to do is focus on the mom. A lot of people get into this fetal tunnel vision stage and all they can talk about is the baby, but you have to remember that she's there too. She's equally just as much of a human being, and ask her what her worries are. Ask her what kind of things that you could do for her in that place. Especially if she's seeking someone like me, where obviously I'm pro-life, there's a part of her that isn't sure. And
Right.
I just work on reassuring her that there is a community, that we have doctors that are willing to be there. We can direct you to the best hospitals. We can set up GoFundMes and things like that for you if it's about
Yeah.
medical costs. I've even gone as far as I've worked with a lot of moms when it comes to federal law, because I've had a lot of moms say that they can't have their baby because of price and they can't afford it. So I talk to them about, you know, certain hospitals, and federally they have to take payment plans.
Yeah.
We can help you with things like that.
Yeah.
But it's really about reminding her that she is strong and she does not have to be bullied.
Very
and-
important.
So to me, that's really the thing. And if they do go through with the abortion, I don't ever stop talking with them. I just treat them the exact same. I tell them I love them. I tell them there is still a community for you, because that should never change. If we really are pro-life and pro-woman, we can't just stop that because she did something we don't agree with.
Right. It's so beautiful.
I really like that, yeah.
I love that. I want people to adopt this because it really I don't know. It's so touching, and you're right. Like just the woman as a whole. There's the baby, and then there's the woman, and just if she does make that choice, you're allowed to still love on her and be with her and help
And
her.
that might be when she needs the help the most afterwards.
Exactly. Yep.
Absolutely. If anyone wants to, Josh Bram, major shout out. He is my total pro-life inspiration. He's an incredible man. He has this entire shop on how to do like sidewalk counseling and tabling, how to talk to women. And I can share after this. I can always share his YouTube channel and his page.
Please
Oh yeah,
do.
I'll do a whole promotion afterwards.
Yeah,
I'll do
and you can always come
stuff.
in after here and drop links into the comment section
comments,
here.
yeah.
Definitely. That
So
would be great. And
Everybody's
Dave will
fighting
make
for
sure
the last comment.
Dave will be sure to promote that too when you drop the link in there. So,
Yeah,
what is his name?
He's just the best person. He really helped me understand how to talk to people, like especially in cases like rape and incest. He just brings a different point to it that people may not think of. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
That's
that's a thing. I think a lot of people have. I don't know, maybe
The
like a
limiters
little
and stuff,
line, a limit, saying like, well, there's where I feel like maybe there's a line. So, I would be really interested to hear.
I also want
what he has to say. No, that's fine. Go ahead. You have something to
to
say, Dave.
because Christian kept asking, and it is very controversial. But also, our friend Christian, he does another stream. He comes from a very secular point of view, and he's kind of even questions his own where his lines are. But he really wanted to know about like life at conception, and do you draw a line, or does that matter, or do you even focus on it?
So to me, I do my best to be scientific first. It's life at conception isn't a philosophical idea. It is a scientific fact. When a human egg and human sperm meet, they cease to exist. That newly formed zygote is a human being. It has to belong to a species. It already has its own DNA structure. But I always want to tell people that if you have an exception, that doesn't make you bad or wrong. Most people have exceptions. Mm-hmm. Very few people are extreme black or extreme white. Mm-hmm. And I feel like with social media and the way people portray themselves as keyboard warriors, that's forgotten. I work with a lot of people, like secular pro-life. They're a huge pro-life organization, and most of them have a rape and incest exception. Mm-hmm. And I still work with them, and I love them dearly. Yeah. Myself, I have an exception when it comes to children. It's very hard for me to rationalize saying a 9-year-old has to give birth. It doesn't mean that I love the idea of abortion, but I'm also going to be a lot less forthright when it comes to being like, no, you shouldn't, because, of numerous reasons.
Yeah, all of that shouldn't be.
I get a lot of flack for that too, but.
I've never even.
I can't. My brain can't go.
No,
a 9-year-old being pregnant. Oh my gosh,
it's terrifying to think about, and it's a really sad reality. I think my biggest frustration for the pro-choice side is most people will bring up the most rare and saddest story they can think of and be like, well, what about this? And I'm like, okay, right. We can absolutely talk about that, but let's at least look at the other 98%.
Yeah, let's look at the percentages.
If you're going to tell me that you support abortion no matter what, then you shouldn't be worried about only this.
Right. Yeah.
And I also we don't look at it from like what should be legal or illegal. It's just what is right and wrong. What should we accept as a culture?
Exactly. And, for me, it's, when I started becoming pro-life, I had rape and incest exceptions. I still supported Planned Parenthood, and it was a process. And some people get out of that process. Some people stay in it. And I don't necessarily think one is always better than the other because it's an understandable thing. I watch, I'm really good friends with Rebecca Kiesling, who runs Save the One. She was conceived and raped, and her mom went to go have 2 illegal abortions with her and ended up not. But she runs Save the One, and she works with people who were conceived in rape, and I've met 100 of these men and women, and for me, I can't look at them and tell them that they're less worthy to live because of a grave act that their father performed.
Right.
And they're not at fault for that. But it's also one of those things when I look at pro-life people, they make it sound so easy. Well, just give the baby up for adoption, or, think of it as a gift. And that goes back to, you have to focus on the woman. I've been raped. I've been molested. I know what that feels like. You don't just somehow forget.
Right.
And I'm very grateful I never became pregnant from that. And I don't know what would have happened had I become pregnant from that. But there's just so many things. And I always say, just take that one situation. Like, if you're talking to someone who's been there, just take them for who they are right then and there, and just listen to them.
I like that. Yeah, in case by case, where you're just one person at a time talking to that one person. Their story is their story. Listen to them. And yeah, I like that a lot.
Well,
so
it gets heartbreaking, and
I'm sure
this is online and in person. I've seen it both, where a woman will say if she got pregnant from rape, she aborted, and she's really grateful she had an abortion because she couldn't imagine having his child. And a lot of people will just condemn her, and it's like, not one of you even told her that you were sorry she went through that. Like,
right.
You can't take back the abortion. It already happened. That human is gone. So now you have another human being in front of you who is clearly still hurting.
Yes.
Try to even a little bit, sorry, I get very passionate about
no,
this
that's
because
fine.
I've been that person.
That's okay.
But it's like, sometimes you have to set abortion aside completely.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck abortion, in multiple ways. But just talk to her, ask how she's doing.
Yeah.
Set abortion aside for a minute. It's okay.
Yes, because she went through a very taking the abortion out of it. She was traumatized by and is trying to cope and deal with that. And then you have the whole abortion thing, and people are calling her names and saying bad things about her. But you have, like,
exactly.
let's just look at the person as a whole and remove that from it and just care for that person. Yeah. You have a good heart. I really like talking to you. It's making me feel really good.
This is easily my favorite podcast I've ever been on. Like, I really love the atmosphere here. I really like you guys. Like, this is easily my favorite.
Oh man, I'm
goosebumps.
so happy. I know, right?
It's also probably because this is my first libertarian one, and that obviously gives it 1,000 more cool points.
Absolutely.
But also,
Absolutely.
like we've like tried to prep this way ahead of time because you know how contentious libertarians are, and we're like, let's be nice to each other.
Yes, in the comments where they would all be fighting back and forth about things.
Yeah, and so we try to dance around things a little bit. Like, we don't take hard.
But I like
stances,
that
But yeah.
I like that you're open and willing to talk about anything, and that anyone having any kind of questions is
you drop some
free.
shit.
Yeah, free to ask.
I know it's super weird, and it's taken me a long time to grow as much as I have, and I know my political stances and my religion and things like that definitely it's made people weary about following me because I don't fit the stereotypical norm, which is perfectly fine.
Right.
But,
well, that's okay.
Takes all types.
For me, it's given me a different perspective, and I've been hateful. I've been a cruel person, and I've watched people. I've watched people in the pro-life movement that are leaders. I've seen things behind closed doors that others in the public don't know about or haven't seen, and I've watched them get destroyed. And I'm like, I've spent so much of my life lying and hiding things, and so I got to a point where I was like, I'm just gonna tell everything. You want to know about sex? You want to know about drugs? You want to know about anything?
Of it? Yes.
I'm gonna tell it.
Yeah.
Because then you can't come after. No one can come after me and be
right.
like, "Did you know this?" Like,
she was hiding this.
Right. Oh boy.
Did you see the video?
Yeah, I love that. I think that's great. Yep. Just be open. Be who you are. And now are you invited to go places to speak, or is it that you try to get to places? Because I think what you have to share is amazing, and people really need to hear more, from you, other women, young girls, or even older women who are going through this or have been through this. Do you seek places, or do they ask you?
A lot of places. I've never, like I said, outside of the one time, I've never been paid to do it. And I've had people like Abby tell me that I need to man up and be like, no, you have to pay me. This is a job. Mm-hmm. And so I'm getting there. I'm trying.
Good for you.
You should.
Good for you.
You're good at what you do.
You
and
are.
You deserve to be compensated for your
Absolutely. You
know,
deserve to be
value
compensated for
that
your
you
time. And
add.
yes, yep. Because you being as open as you are and just wanting to share in what you've shared with us tonight. I mean, I really
It's for
feel
sure.
like, yes,
It's a rare
you,
commodity.
yeah,
It's something that has value.
yep. You need to be seen and heard by all the people. Do I hear birds? Do you have birds?
Yeah, you hear birds.
Do you? Because I'm like,
No,
wait a
I'm
second,
in
what
our
time of day is
garage.
it? I just wonder what
I don't,
time
we don't
it
smoke in the house. No, we don't smoke in the house, so I'm outside. But yeah, it's almost 9 here, and there's
Okay.
it's still light outside. I mean, it's
Okay.
dark,
Oh.
but there's still plenty of light outside.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if I was like if you guys had birds or if it was just birds from outside. So, okay. But that's
I think
okay.
my husband would shoot them. I
Oh,
bring way
okay.
too many stray animals. I couldn't do that.
Okay, so do you have a lot of pets at home then?
Yeah, we have 3 large breed dogs
Ooh.
and 5 cats. Thankfully, we have a big house.
Yeah.
One of them stays downstairs, and the other ones, we have one who was 2 weeks premature, and I got her and her litter when she was 20 minutes old. And
Oh.
so she was the only one that survived, but the fact that she survived was literally 1 in like 1.3 million.
Oh my
2
gosh.
preemie kittens almost never survived. So she just turned a year 3 days ago, and she will always be this big.
Oh
that's
my gosh, that's
adorable.
the best. Perma
And then
kitty,
we have
permanent kitty.
2 others that again were rescues, and the third one is a new one. We were not going to keep her. My husband rescued her out of a tree, and no one claimed her. I tried finding. I probably contacted 70 people, seeing if they wanted her. No one would take her. She looks like a little bobcat. Her half of her tail is missing.
Oh,
That's awesome.
But my husband accepts her because she doesn't do anything. You'd never know she was even in our house. She just
Really?
sleeps and eats and sleeps and eats. So my husband doesn't care.
Yeah, he's like, this one's okay. Oh, that is so great. Okay, so David Andrew Gay and his brother Peter run Liberty Memes, and Dottie is in the comments here, and that's their mom. And she's in the comment section now, and she says she's up to 42 birds. What? Oh, chickens. Wait, are you talking about chickens,
I
Dottie?
think all around. I don't,
I love chickens.
I know she has
I
some
want a
chickens.
chicken so bad.
Yes.
are you in a neighborhood that you could have chickens?
I don't know. There was so we've been here for 7 years, and there's a house around the corner that openly had chickens in their backyard up
Yeah.
until like 2 years ago.
Like what
So
happened
they
to the chickens?
say no, but I don't believe them.
Yeah, yep. Well, that's what my cousin lived on the other end of the block where we are. We're in town, and she had chickens. And the rule here is, I think that you can have up to a certain amount as long as nobody complains around you. But I think the rooster got to be
Yeah,
to
don't
where
get a
the
rooster.
neighbor was like called in and said something about it, and then they had to
Yeah,
get rid of them.
that's what I think it is here, because I went to a garage sale. I am a rummage sale freak. I grew up that way, and like I live for them. And so I went to a
fun.
rummage sale on the other side. We live in a small town. We've only got 1,800 people here.
Oh wow!
And so I went to a rummage sale on the other side of town, and they had a chicken and a duck. And I was like, I need a duck.
Yes.
No, I
Right.
didn't know it till
I had
just
no
now.
idea I needed this duck until right now. That is so cool. Now, you said you homeschool. I love that.
Yep.
We homeschool. What was your decision? How did that happen? What made you choose? Have your kids ever been to a public school or a private school, any
Yes.
kind of school?
I
Okay.
stopped trusting the public school system here.
Okay. That's great.
So again, too long didn't read version. Our eldest daughter went into preschool at the school right across the street, and I loved it, but she did not. The first month she was in love, and then the entire year she would cry every time she went to school, and I didn't understand why. Turns out that one of the older teachers was putting a weighted blanket on her to try to calm her down, like what they would normally use for a child that's autistic.
Okay.
They weren't
Yeah.
telling me about it, and it was basically traumatizing her. She didn't understand why she was being forced down on this chair every day.
Right.
And when they told me about it, finally, 'cause she was speech delayed, so she couldn't tell me what was going on.
Oh.
And
yeah.
so that was frustrating. And then the next year, she was going to be in preschool one more year, and then go into kindergarten. And her brother then went into preschool, and I asked that they were in separate rooms so that they couldn't go crazy together.
Sure. Yep.
And there was
have that independence.
Yes, there was an option to sign up and have the teachers come to your home so you could meet them, and I thought that was great. I really wanted to meet his teacher because I already knew hers, and I had accidentally wrote down like I don't know, something got mixed up, and the day that they came, I thought it was the next day, and so I was downstairs folding clothes, and all of a sudden I hear RJ yelling for me, so I go upstairs, and he's like, "Mom, people are outside." So I noticed that the teachers are here, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like I was downstairs." So I got them ready, and because they were just playing in their rooms like
Sure.
kids do.
Yep.
So they get their shoes on, they come outside to play while I meet the teacher. Not 2 minutes later, a cop pulls up, and he starts telling me that there was suspicion that kids were home alone. And I looked at the teachers, and I looked over in our driveway, and I'm like, my car is in the driveway.
Right.
And the libertarian in me came out, and I was like, you understand, I don't legally have to open my door for you.
Right. Oh, go
like
girl.
My car's and their suspicion is that my son was playing in his bedroom alone. Like that was suspicious, and so the cop started telling me that he needed to search my house.
What?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
And I said no, and
for
it
you.
got to the point where I was like, I was done, and I regret doing this, but I was so frustrated. I said, fine, you know what, I don't care. So I let him in. He went through our pantry, through their bedrooms, through our refrigerator, making sure that we had food in the house. It was ridiculous. This cop is no longer here, which I'm really grateful for. I love every officer in this town. They're amazing. This guy was the douche canoe. And 2
Good
weeks
riddance
after
to him.
this happened, 2 weeks after this happened, CPS shows up at our door.
Oh my.
And says that they got a call for child neglect. And I couldn't believe what was happening, so I let her in, because I understand they have to go everywhere. And so I sat down with her for an hour and talked, told her exactly what happened. Nothing was open, because even she understood that there was nothing going on.
Right.
And she even thought the situation was absurd.
Mm-hmm.
But once I made sure, I waited like a month, got a letter, nothing was filed. And the moment I got that letter, I took them out of public school.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Was it the teachers then that called the cops because they thought that...
We have no idea.
No,
she
yeah.
wasn't allowed to tell us who called, but
Oh,
I didn't.
my
To us,
gosh.
it didn't matter who called. We were
Sure.
mad.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what a traumatizing experience for your kids, but for you as a mom to have, because the government in their overreach, they think that they can just own your kids, come in and take whatever they want if they don't feel you're doing it proper, you know. Oh, and you were there. And they were playing in their rooms. My kids play in their rooms alone. They go in the office and they play.
It's like I have,
but I'm
you know,
here.
At this time, I was pregnant. I was hugely pregnant with our 2-year-old, and I had 3 other kids. It's like,
Yeah.
if I want to keep this house clean, sometimes
You have
I
to do-
actually have to go into a different room
Right.
and do something.
Right. I think every person does. If they have kids,
We're not
they
screaming
have to...
in their bedroom right
Yeah.
now.
Oh my gosh. I seriously am like, can I just lock myself in the kitchen and clean the kitchen? And you guys just go ahead, destroy the dining room, living room, office.
We'll get that later.
We'll get to that later,
And
but
baby
I'm going to
gates,
clean
and
it.
of course, you know, at this age, baby gates don't work anymore. So
Oh,
they're
sure.
They figure them
figuring
out quick.
They do figure them out really fast. Oh my gosh.
Well, our biggest dog is a German Shepherd Lab mix. He's 140 pounds
Holy.
of puppy, and so those baby gates will get knocked down if he
Easily.
wants to go into the next
Oh, yeah.
room. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's no stopping that. Oh my gosh. How old is that dog?
He was born 2 weeks before Balin, so he will be 5 June 22nd.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Still a youngin'. Oh my.
Yep.
His parents had a German Shepherd, and
His-
man.
his-
That's what we grew up with.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, his mom is actually another rescue, because that's all I do. We have a yellow lab, which is my husband's dog that he grew up with. He's a farm dog.
Oh,
And
nice.
then I was scrolling Facebook one day, and I saw this picture of this just skinny, terribly skinny German Shepherd, and these people were just trying to get rid of her. And I was like, I can't, no, because there's a huge problem here with dog fighting and people breeding. And
Oh, really?
I didn't even ask my husband. I was like, I'll take her. Don't let anyone else have her. She's mine. I'll come and pick her up. And I called my husband, and I was like, do you love me? Do you promise not to get mad? And of course he was mad. He was not happy.
Right.
But I promised him, I swore to him that we would find her a home. And I really did mean it at the time. I was
Yes.
like, we need to get her out of there. We need to get her to a
Right.
vet. We need to get her checked. And
You
they
found
told
her
us she
home.
was fixed.
You found her-
It's your home.
Well, yeah, they told us she was fixed. That was a lie. And
Oh,
then
no,
2 months
what?
later, we had puppies.
Oh, my-
Oh, that's
where Bishop
exciting.
Came from.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
My
gosh.
husband actually my husband bonded with her so much. That's his
Oh, that's
dog.
great.
And, like, there
Oh.
was no getting rid of her.
Yeah, yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
your
do
home.
that whole thing where you ask for forgiveness later. You know, you bring the dog home or like ask for forgiveness or
Once
permission.
he's not upset anymore, he always tells me that's what he loves about me is that I'm willing to take in anything that needs help.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, could you just start remembering that before you get upset?
Right.
Because like you know it's coming.
Right, yeah. You need to have a little piece of paper you slip to him, like, remember, future you is going to love me for this. That is so great. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy that we got a chance to talk with you. I want to open up to the audience if anyone does have any questions. I know that I've kind of neglected the comment section, but Dave's been pretty okay about
They're
he's-
talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, I can't I have a hard time reading things and still like maintaining where I'm like listening to a person and then asking other questions. So,
That's okay. I'm gonna peek inside really quick, make sure no one's dying.
oh yeah, nope, I totally get that. We have the baby monitor here.
Okay, no, it's quiet. We're good.
Well, that's what Dave had to run upstairs.
I put on Wreck-It Ralph. They're good for at least another hour.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's what Dave had to run upstairs because our oldest was, I don't know.
It was warm up
Oh, it was warm. I know it was. And then the fireworks, people are putting off fireworks. It's in the summertime here. It's just like, I feel like this.
Any
it's
weekend is fair game.
everywhere, but yeah, every weekend it's just fireworks galore from the neighborhood. So, whatever.
I understand completely. We have LaSalle Day, which is our town parade that's coming up, and it's going to be a whole week of nothing but fireworks at night.
Oh, that's fun. Is this where you grew up then, or did you move here? I mean, I don't know where exactly you're from.
No, so I'm a Wisconsinite.
Are you?
Yeah,
I think there's some
and
Wisconsin in the comment section.
I would love to move back. I miss Wisconsin a lot. I do not like Colorado.
No.
Nope.
Is your husband from there?
Yep, he's
Okay.
a born and bred Coloradan, and he's actually he wants to get out because it's not the state that he remembers, and he's in the oil and gas business, and Colorado is run by nothing. It's purely Democratic now, and so
Oh, you're getting murdered.
they shut down a bill, Prop 112, which would have taken billions from gas and oil, and it was so unanimous by the people, and it got shut down. And so the Democrats, basically under the table, a month later, went and passed one just like it.
What?
And in the next 3 to 5 years, we are going to lose so much money in that industry if something doesn't change. And so it's like, nope, we can leave.
Oh my gosh.
I
How
saw
do they do that?
Kane asked that twice. Do animals and humans have the same rights? So we were talking about that earlier in the group too.
Yes, yeah, we were chatting about that. What are your feelings on that? Animals and humans, same rights?
I mean, there's so many ways to go at it. To me, I think we are animals. To me,
Yeah.
I don't think.
Because he's not a vegan or anything.
No, yeah, no, he's not. He's just a lover of the
I
animals
just, like, I understand
and people.
I really respect people that have the consistent life ethic view. The people that are like, don't kill anything. I'm like, good for you, because I'm not that way. For me, I'm much more of I'd rather give an animal rights than like, a child molester. If that
Understandable.
answers,
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
that's where I stand.
Yes, yeah,
People can be much nastier.
yes, absolutely. And I mean, for
And
me,
I think humans have a lot less excuses. Animals, a grizzly bear will self-induce an abortion if they believe that it's going to be a bad year, but they're doing it out of the most pure and primal instinct. That's
right.
what evolutionary-wise they know. Humans, we're just assholes.
Right.
We just.
I had no idea about bears doing that. I had no clue. And that they're running on instinct for that. So that's.
If I scream, I'm
Okay.
really sorry. There's a June bug just flying around. It's gonna hit me in the face.
I
any
understand.
minute.
I totally get it. Yeah.
Why?
I'm on the lookout for bugs all the time. All the time.
I love bugs when I know they're there.
Yeah. Like if you're like gonna like chill out over there, bug, I can appreciate you, but like don't like fly into my face.
No fly zone.
Because that makes me freak out. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm reading oh, Sean Hatchie is in the he's just joking about chicken ramen noodles. Having rights because it's but he's
See, now I
he's
just
being
want
silly.
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, right. One of the girls in the comments here, her name's Celeste, and she said her best friend was bringing her a milkshake and chicken nuggets. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds
is a good
wonderful
friend.
right now. Like that is a
That's
best
the
friend.
best kind of friend.
Yes.
Don't.
So what do you guys do? Okay, I asked if you took the kids to the pro-life stuff, but now what do you do for fun? What do you do? What do the kids like to do? What is there around that they enjoy?
They love getting out. They love to climb trees. There's
Yes.
a park a little ways away.
That's the
There's
best.
this huge tree they go and climb.
Yep.
There's this water park that opened up the town above us. It's free, so I want to start taking them there really
How
soon.
nice.
Um,
That's nice.
I really like. This is the first year that we're much better off financially. Like we're still putting almost everything away we can. Like because I know that GoFundMe was shared that we're trying to get our roof done with everything that happened.
Yes.
So obviously we're focusing on much more things that are very cost effective, if not free.
Sure.
But I mean, even just getting them their bikes, even just being able to take them around, because we
Yep.
do have a small town. It's one thing I love about it is that, you know, I'm in a town where our kids can ride their bikes in the street, so we don't have to worry about them getting hit, and I love that.
That's
'Cause That's how I
awesome.
grew up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Riding bikes around just like that. And that, I think that is what is, I don't know. I feel like for my kids, I want you to have like the childhood that we had where
Yeah,
it, you
but
know,
they
it wasn't
don't.
about like, yeah, video games are having all of these experiences and you need to create this experience for me. And it's like, no, just go outside and make your own experience. You know, like go dig in the dirt, find bugs, ride your bike, do this, do that. Like go out.
Oh my
and-
God, they live for that. Like if we have weeds everywhere, so I'm always out pulling weeds, and like they love looking for worms.
Yes.
That is one of their favorite pastimes. And like seriously, I never thought about getting them a phone anytime soon, and then like I got TikTok and I started looking through TikTok and I saw all these like 8-year-olds on there, and I'm like, nope, you're definitely not getting a phone anytime soon.
Absolutely not
Where
now.
the hell are the parents with some of these kids?
Yeah.
Right.
What happened?
I know. What has gone on? I do sort of wish that I could go back to like say the time when my mom, she's 72 now, but when she was growing up where you didn't have to lock your doors and everything was very like just slow paced and there, I don't know. I would like to experience that for a moment. I just feel like everything's so fast now, like fast. Do you feel like because you're in a smaller town, everything is a little bit more kind of laid back and not so like...
Not having an HOA definitely makes things better.
I believe that.
No, it is. There is a lot less stress here. It's really nice. I like that I can send my kids out to the car. I like that I can keep my car running for half an hour and really not have to worry about
Yeah.
it. It is nicer. You know, and what's been really the only thing that's been hard for me is that because we had kids at a young age, everyone that we knew pretty much left.
Oh, yeah.
And that was hard. And so, you know, now people our age are starting to have their first kid. And so we're the couple that people are like, what do I do? And it's like, breathe, we'll help you. We've been there once. I'm actually really lucky. My husband called me 3 weeks ago, and asked if I had heard of this girl's name. And I hadn't, but he was inspecting this guy on one of his job sites. And him and his wife also met at the Grizzly Rose where my husband and I met. They also have 4 kids, the same ages as our kids.
Wow.
They also homeschool.
Oh my gosh.
And so I actually I messaged her on Facebook and I was like, okay, this was our husband's idea. Please don't think I'm a creeper. But I guess we have all this in common.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd ever want to like meet at a park and let the kids play. We ended up meeting last week and it was fantastic. Her and I got along really well. The kids had a great time.
Well, that's
And
exciting.
So great.
Because
is
that's the only
best.
thing that's difficult with the homeschooling is just really trying to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm desperately trying to get my car fixed. It's not that expensive, but I don't have it to throw around right now.
Sure.
And
Yep.
but
Sure.
I can't go a lot of places outside of town until I get my strut fixed, and so it's just
Yeah.
like once we do that, I'm also hoping to get to more events where they can meet people because they're at that age where they need to be extra social.
Yeah. Yep. There's Sean
McDuffie
McDuffie.
keeps talking about the Grizzly Rose.
Yes. he must know it. He says the fucking Grizzly Rose.
Is that where you got your page name from too?
Yeah, is that
Yeah, it's a big ass country bar. It's like supposedly world famous, it's huge. I've been going there since I was, almost 17.
Yeah.
And I love it. That was home away from home for a lot of years for me.
Yeah, yep. I want to just say,
You
I don't
even know.
He says
about-
you guys don't even know about the Grizzly Rose. No, Dave and I do not, but we would love to know about it.
If you ever come to Colorado, I will take you.
Okay,
got a
all
friend
right.
up
And Thursdays, women drink for free. So
Well, we are going. Do they know? Do they know what I can drink? Oh my goodness, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm just so happy that we got a chance to hang out with you. I really
this has been wonderful. Oh, here's that 2-week the premature kitty I was telling you guys about.
Oh, who cares?
Oh my gosh.
Who
Is
cares?
Dadman here? Because he's all about rescuing cats. He is the kitten
She
rescuer.
hates the camera.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
loves to
really?
be snuggled until I get the camera.
The camera. Yep. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Oh, and then this is the. Not that everyone only wants to see animals.
Hi,
but Bishop,
puppy.
sit.
No, they're excited.
This is the 140-pound one.
Hi. Oh my gosh. Are they cuddlers?
Oh yeah, Bo's out
Even-
in
Yeah, he is a
Colorado.
lap dog.
Yeah.
Wait, Bo
Bo
is in
Wright.
District 1?
Bo Wright is in Colorado. Yeah. That's what he's
He's trying to make is it District
I
1?
don't know. Write him in though if you go vote. Do you vote, by the way? That's the thing we ask people. Do you vote? Hi, kitty cat.
I voted in one presidential election, and outside of that, I lied. I've voted
District
twice.
10.
One's presidential, and I voted in our state last year for different committee members and things like that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I have to admit it's not at the top of my priority, and I feel like it should be more. But I'm much more the person that I'll go to the Capitol. I'm much more the person that's going to talk to people.
Yeah, go
There you
talk
go.
to him.
Hey, you're doing something. You're using your voice.
Yeah, you're gonna
think
get
that's
burnt
great.
Now
either way
you're
in this
gonna be
group.
now she's
Yeah.
going to be on camera.
Oh, hi, kitty cat.
Yelling.
Okay, sweetie, I'll be right there. All right.
Oh,
Thank you
I
so
thought that
much.
was the cat.
Oh, sorry. Shit.
You can
Sorry, I pulled my headphones up.
No, you can go, take care of the kiddos and stuff. We totally understand because that's our life. We have to do that too.
They're like ninja locked inside their toy room.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
And I remember when who did we meet that and they had the locks?
Don't yell. Yes, you may say hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, glitching out.
Hi there. Hello. Hi. Hi. It's nice to meet you guys.
Mom, can you share again?
Yes, she may share. Sorry, I don't know why. Oh, you know what? Let me turn my Wi-Fi on. Don't you yell at me.
They're super cute. I love that. Oh, excuse me. I have to clear my throat here. I think we froze for a moment. Dave's gonna figure out, what happens there and what to do about that.
Just wait it out.
Yeah, we do. We just ride it out. I love though.
Oh, lost her.
Okay, we lost the call. So if you want to call her back, and here she comes. Yay!
See if this works. I got everything ringing.
All of it is ringing.
Yeah, Yeah, I didn't give me the option to answer the call on the phone.
Can Dave call you back if you can see us, Albany? Hi, C.R. Rice. Dave is gonna call you.
Oh, now it's like, do you want to answer?
Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
thanks for
yeah.
that. They're wonderful Facebook. They do all right. They do all right.
See if Facebook allows a return call. Yes, we have to see. I'm having a great time. I'm super excited. That'd be so fun to hang out with her and her kids. Take our kids. They'd have a ball. They would have a blast. Oh my gosh. So much fun. The bottle's in the way. Let me move that for you then, Dave. Is that better?
Yeah, that's way better.
Is it? Without all my beer bottles in your way? Gosh, what is this like little it's bothering me, but if you vote only one time for the rest of your life, it should be for Bo Wright. Write him in. Write and write.
Yeah, did I miss?
Oh, I'm here. Hello! You're
Hey,
back.
it actually worked. Awesome.
So
It's
great.
like Facebook's like a crapshoot.
Yes,
I never know
Christian.
if anything's going to work, and so I'm living on faith here.
Yeah.
I completely forgot my husband is doing his own podcast, and so turning on the
Oh.
Wi-Fi.
Oh, it crashed everybody.
Oh my
Bad.
gosh.
How's his podcast going now?
Oh, that's great.
It's great. He runs an airsoft channel. He's growing in the state doing airsoft
that's
stuff.
neat.
So he's
Oh,
got his
fun.
buddies over and they're drinking downstairs like frat boys.
Yes, yes. That's what it turns into here after we interview people.
Oh yeah, we'll go deeper into the subgroups.
Yeah,
and
we
it
go into
gets weird.
LMPM and then we're just like, after party! That is how it happens. So it was great. Now,
Hey,
the
hey,
kids
hey.
were saying hi.
No
I see them
driving
running
back.
around. Yes. I want to make sure that you get a chance to share more about... I know it's uncomfortable for you, but you
Oh, yeah.
please share your Patreon, because what you're doing is a beautiful, wonderful thing, and...
And if
It-
people like
you-
what you do, they
they
want to
will
encourage
support
it.
you. Yeah, so don't be afraid to talk about it, and anywhere that people can find you and follow you, so that they can keep up with what is going on with with
Put her
Albany.
down. No, I really do appreciate that, and it's getting to the point where like I'm getting more comfortable. It's only taken 7 years, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Hey, better
But,
late
you know,
than
for
never.
those that
We got there pretty
don't
quick.
know how Patreon, I mean, I'm sure most people here know how Patreon
Oh, yeah.
works, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's just you can set up, a monthly donation, and I also have a PayPal that I freely give out if people would rather just do a one-time thing, because it all just goes to the same place anyways.
That's
can
so
say
great.
hi to her.
Hi. Hi,
Hi.
cutie. How are you?
Mom,
She said, "How are you?"
Oh yeah, she can't hear us.
Oh, you're 5. Oh, all right. That's
She has the
great.
headphones in.
Yes. Oh, yeah, the headphones. Yep.
Mommy,
What?
Dad, can we-
When I'm done, you have to be patient, and you need to learn patience.
Yes,
Yes, they do.
My kids, my 6-year-old says, I hate waiting. And I'm like, I know, because he says it all the time. I'm completely aware. So please tell me that after this is over, when you have a minute, will you drop some links into the comment section here for the people who have been watching, and then also for Dave too, so that we can promote those links when we talk about the show, and also put it on our YouTube channel and put it into the we share the links in community group, right?
Yeah, I do a whole nother post.
He wants to do a whole nother post and promotion for you. So make sure you come back and put all links into the comment section. I'm serious.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No, I genuinely appreciate that, and honestly, it's probably another reason that I love the libertarian community more than anything else, because it's not just talk. It really is about coming together as a community and relying on
Yes.
each other.
Yep.
I see you back there.
Hi.
You are freezing my camera. It doesn't know what to do with you.
This has been
This is
so
the boy.
great. Hello. Hi.
They say hi.
Hi. That's my
on.
kids. Yeah, anytime they see a camera, they're just like, what's going on?
RJ, come on.
Yeah, that shot froze up. So
Yeah.
I'm looking over here.
Oh, okay. All right. It's that time of night
No,
where
thank you guys so much.
Yeah. I
This
have
has
to
been
use
wonderful.
the restroom.
I've absolutely loved being on here.
I'm
you
so
guys
glad.
are wonderful.
Thank you. And we feel the same way about you. This was great. Just chatting and getting to know you and hanging out. It feels like just friends talking. I love that. It was a lot of fun.
That's always the better course to go, in my opinion. You get
Right?
more honesty. You get more openness.
Oh yeah.
Yep. That's how we feel. We just want to get to know everybody and hang out. So, all right, you have a wonderful night. Come back, drop those links in there for us, okay?
Absolutely.
When you get a minute. And I'm going to friend you so we can be friends on Facebook now, okay?
Yes, then it can be official.
Okay, yay. Thank you, Albany. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you guys so much. You have an amazing evening, and I will go drop those links.
All right,
Awesome.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye. That was so fun. I love this. Oh my gosh, it's so great.